We'll even replace it for you. At Trucks Unlimited, we save you time and money by being local. Stop by and see what we have to offer. Trucks Unlimited is a proud supporter of Muskie football. Go Muskies!
Welcome to Moving Forward, sponsored by MPW Mocklink TV and Mocklink Internet, online at mpw.org. Each weekday morning, our local talk segment brings you the people who are helping move our community forward. Let's start the show.
Good morning, AM 860, FM 95.1, KWPC. I'm Jordan Davis. Thanks for joining us this morning for Moving Forward, as always, brought to you by Muscatine Power and Water. Say hello to Mocklink Phone, your new local phone company. Fiber customers, get it now. Switching is easy, and you can keep your old number. Learn more at mpw.org. Again, I'm Jordan Davis, and joining me here in the studio this morning, Thad Burkamper. How are you this morning, Thad?
I'm doing great, sir. How are you?
And now, what's the proper way to address you? Are you a mentalist, the mentalist?
I am a mentalist, yes.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about just yourself here real quick, and then we'll talk about an event you've got coming up, and then what it is you do exactly.
Myself, when it comes to mentalism, is, as I like to say in my shows, it's a mix of my five senses, a little bit of suggestion, a little bit of intuition, and a whole lot of BS. I cram that all together. It makes the appearance as though there is a sixth sense at work, the ability to read minds, the ability to share telepathy with someone, or tell the future, that kind of stuff.
Excellent, excellent. So let's talk about your event that you've got coming up. You said November 16th, right?
Yes, sir. November 16th. It is at the high school auditorium at 7 p.m. People can, it's $10 a ticket for hour and a half, 2 hour show, which is pretty good if you consider some of your other options you could be spending your money on. And it's it's kind of an interactive live stage show, which doesn't happen all that often in this neck of the woods. So
I'm sure you pull folks up on stage, that kind of thing. Get
the
crowd
the ones that want to. Obviously, I'm not going to force somebody up there if they're kind of crouching in their chair trying to disappear. But
absolutely, yeah. It's kind of the "don't let the teacher call on me" kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I don't generally pick the people that are all about coming up on stage because I want the attention on me,
right?
And they're going to steal it from me.
Absolutely. All right, that's really cool. So coming up November 16th over at the high school auditorium, you're going to be able to check out that. Now, where can they get tickets?
They can do that a number of ways. One is I've got a Facebook page, TB Mentalism on Facebook. You can message me through that, and we'll get it figured out there. The other would be to call or text me at 563-506-9546, and then we'll make arrangements from there. I have done PayPal links to certain people. I've just gone and switched out cash for tickets for others, so I try to make it as easy as possible. And the goal is to get as many of those pre-ordered as possible so that we've got kind of all of our ducks in a row, as it were.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Absolutely. So, Thad, is this all that you do, or is this something you do as on top of other things, or is this
No,
your main...
I've got a normal human job. This is kind of out of the... I've got a 5 and a 7-year-old, and my 7-year-old wants nothing more than to be a robot inventor. And my 5-year-old, I think, just wants to break everything in his path. But at some point, it'll come to a point where they've decided what they want to do with their life. They'll say, "Dad, Mom, I want to go whatever." Right. And I want to be able to say to them, "Go tackle it the same as I did." So this show has kind of been a call to me. I've always been a stage nerd. All through high school and everything, I was on stage doing shows and things like that, and the stage has been calling me back, and this is the best way for me to get back on stage. So I want to be able to talk to my boys from a known experience of, yeah, I had a dream and I went after it. Whether this goes or fails is fine. The fact that I went after it is what I really want to be able to pull back or fall back on when it comes to that conversation with my sons.
Where's your inspiration for being a mentalist come from? Like, where was your first exposure to it?
I've kind of always had a hand in little magic-y stuff when I was, high school and that kind of thing. When my oldest was born, if he'd wake up in the middle of the night, I'd grab him, put a bottle in his mouth, and then put on either a magic or mentalism DVD, which you can buy this stuff, how to learn how to do this stuff, and I would just watch that. So about almost 8 years ago, I started doing that, and then at parties and stuff, I would, pull some people aside, break their brains for a second, and do what I could there.
Just real casually, just
yeah, and it's almost better when it's casually, when nobody's expecting it. And so that has now grown. It's basically what it comes down to is it's the easiest outlet for me to get back on stage. If the production is great, it's on me. If the production is terrible, it's on me. And I like that responsibility to have an audience of mine that it is my job to give them what they paid for.
I see.
So
you want to use that as encouragement to your children as follow what you're interested in.
Exactly right. Yep.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk a little bit about exactly what you do. So you explain, it's a little bit of your intuition, a little bit of BS. What is it that you actually do?
We can try something if you want. This is
This would be great. This would be great for the YouTube followers. Anybody check it out on Facebook later, you can be able to see all
yeah,
this.
and I'll narrate what's going on for anybody that's just listening. But this will be good for I used to be terribly interested in cards when I was dealing with Magic. Basically the only purpose cards serve for me anymore is that it's a reference point. If I were to say 4 of hearts, you could memorize. You could think of that very easily because everybody's mostly comfortable with cards and that kind of thing. So I'm just going to riffle through. You're going to tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Right there? Mm-hmm. Okay, that one's yours. And now, I'm going to put that down. You've got it in your head?
Mm-hmm. If you look away for a second, I'll show it to folks. Hopefully we're on this camera right here. Ooh. All right.
Okay. Now, I'm going to ask you a series of questions. You're not going to answer any of them.
Okay.
But in your mind, you're going to be thinking of the answer, which is that. You're not going to think yes or no. You're just going to think what your card is.
Okay.
Almost as though you're screaming it through your forehead.
All right.
Okay?
So just think my card.
Just think of your card.
I already forgot what it was for a second.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. And anytime you need to reference it again, I want you to look at it because I want to make sure that you're there. Mm-hmm. The first question is whether it's black or red. Whether it is black or red. You're pretty good at this, but I'm going to go black. Black would be clubs or spades. So we're going to do clubs, spades, whether it is clubs. There's a little smirk coming out on clubs, so we're at clubs. So it's a high or a low. So high is going to be 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King. Okay. Low is going to be 7 through Ace. Okay? And you stopped paying attention to what I said low, so we're going to go high. We're going to do, I'm just going to run through them out loud. And I want you to, when I say yours, just think it extra loud then, okay? 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King. 8, 9, 10, Jack, 8, 9, 10. 10, it's going to be the 10 of clubs.
No kidding.
Is that right?
That is right.
All
Holy
right.
cow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Now I feel kind of bad. I feel like I let myself down there when I smirked right at the end.
No,
that was incredible.
The reason I pointed it out is because there are things that you're giving away the whole time. Mm-hmm. The reason I do side to side is generally someone's nose very gently moves to the answer.
Really?
The reason I'll run through them like that is you'll get a nod or a blink or something on or around. So I did the whole run, and then I narrowed it down, and then I narrowed it down because you're giving me information as we go. And as you're thinking 10 of clubs, there are things that your jaw is doing, there are things that your muscles in your face are doing,
wow.
Which with that beard, I'm useless to try and use those things, but all that information
there are other telltale signs.
Is accessible,
That's
right?
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
That is really interesting. I tried really, really hard to not blink. I thought that might be one that you were looking for, and I tried really hard not to, but still, man, that was impressive. That was really cool. So that's the kind of thing you can expect. You're using telltale signs that people just really, it's hard to suppress those because it's kind of ingrained in you.
Right. Yep. And that's like the smallest inkling of it. Mm. I might start the show out with something like that, but I'll do it with 5 people at a time.
Oh wow!
And I'll try to be looking for 5.
Holy cow!
Because what you and me on stage together is kind of boring to the other 500 people. If I bring 5 people up and I've got to distinguish, okay, I've got you, that's all. It presents a challenge to me, which is more fun. If there are potential failure points within the show, that's more fun. The last show that I did up top at Boonies this past June, and there was a catastrophic failure. Everything went to crap, and you have to move on with it. And when it was definitely not a planned failure. I very wanted it to work, but when the audience saw that it could fail, it brought back reality. It's not, I'm not just watching some guy that's memorized a script and is doing these things. Oh, we're looking at some something real that's going on that,
is that like the willing suspension of disbelief? Is that what that's, or is that kind of a
sort
different?
of, yeah. Yes, the way I start my show is I'll ask the audience who believes that being able to tell the future is possible. Some people will raise their hand, some people won't. Then I'll ask the rest of the audience who believes that being able to tell the future is impossible. Obviously, the other half of the audience is now raising their hand, and I will ask those people, how many of you have the Weather Channel app on your phone? Right? Mm-hmm. Huge disparity there, because you're trusting something that has no way to tell the future.
Right.
But it's using the information at hand the same way I do. I use, like Weather Channel app will use the known series of circumstances, how those things have worked themselves out in the past. This is what is likely to happen. I do the exact same thing. I create the circumstance, figure out or use that, and knowing how those things have worked themselves out in the past, how your mind works, how you're likely to act when you're on stage in front of your friends, all of that, and I give you the most probable outcome.
Wow. It
looks like telling the future. It looks like telepathy. It's a lot of fun either way around it. And generally, even after telling people that, everybody forgets. They
Gotcha.
Afterwards, a lady came up. She goes, "How did you read my husband's mind?" Like, well, I told you I didn't. But we do all these things that are mind reading, that are telepathy, that are. There's a part of the show where I just walk people through it, and then this woman reads their minds. I don't even touch the thing.
Wow.
I'm just the map.
That's really cool.
It's really cool. Yeah, it's fun.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm still reeling from the even just the slight one that you just did with me. So that's really, really interesting. So we can expect everything like this coming up on this November 16th. Yep. You're going to be able to check all of that out, because I'm really interested now, and I think you're going to be seeing me at your show.
Well, good.
I'd like to see that.
We got tickets printed last week. So, like I said, anybody that wants tickets, they can call me at 563-506-9546. You can call or text. Also, TB Mentalism on Facebook. You can message me through there. But we got our tickets printed. So anybody that says, "Hey, I need 3 tickets," I'll show up, hand them off to you, or however the easiest way to do that is for the given person. This show, Focus, is the name of the show, and very specifically chosen. It's about setting goals and the things that can stop you from achieving your goals, the things that can stop you midway, and the things that can stop you before you even start. So Focus actually stands for, the F is for failure, O is for obstacles, C is for criticism, U is for the unknown, and S is success. The fear of failure, fear of obstacles, fear of criticism, fear of the unknown, and the fear of success are the things that get in the way. And then we have specific bits, if you want to call them bits, I wouldn't even know what to call them, experiments, I guess, that deal with each one of those.
Gotcha.
And so we just go through that. And really it's meant to be a little bit of a boost into whatever you feel is pulling at you, you should chase it. I mean, wherever your mind goes when you're not paying attention, that's what you want to be doing. So it doesn't mean quit your good job right this second, but at least start dipping your toe in the water of whatever it is that's chasing you.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, that's really cool. That's kind of an interesting message to be coming out of something like that. That's
yeah,
really cool.
It kind of happened on accident, or by accident, around accident, with accident. Anyway, it happened inadvertently on the first show, and that's what really brought a lot of attention for corporate type gigs, where people would say, "Hey, I liked where you brought positivity into your show. Could you come do that for my staff meeting?" Those kinds of things started showing up a lot, and I realized, I accidentally brought this positivity speak into the show, and people really clung on to it, more so even than the mind-breaking cool stuff, which is amazing, which is absolutely great, because when I get on stage, it's about you. I know it seems like I'm building this show and everybody can come watch me, and that's a part of it, but mostly my job is to make sure that you, the audience, just get boggled for an hour and a half, But if through that you can take with you this heavy message of whatever your goal is, the thing you've been putting on the back burner, maybe bring it to the front burner. Start stirring it every now and then. scents, those things that feed you a little bit. So often we let family and work and the normal society stuff kill those things.
Yeah, your routine gets in the way.
Exactly. And just creating, a 10, 15-minute window where you're like, oh, I'm going to focus on this for a second, see what happens. That's a big deal, and it's likely to change people's minds or lives.
Wow, that's really going to be. I'm definitely going to have to be at this show because I'm
Sweet.
just curious. I'm just curious now about what that looks like. I'd like to see the full. I don't want to say dissertation of it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I want to see. I want to see that in full. So excellent. Well, thanks so much, Thad, for joining us this morning.
I really appreciate being here.
And one more time, let's say November 16th, we're going to be over at the high school auditorium. And what time ish?
7 o'clock is the show. Doors will open at 6.
Okay.
Seating will open at 6:30. 7 o'clock is the show. It's $10 a pop for tickets. $7 if you've got a student ID. So if you're part of the college or the high school, I don't know if the middle school gives out IDs or not. But if you've got one of those, $7 a pop there.
Kids welcome, any for all ages.
Yeah, the last show I was kind of waffling on that. I didn't quite know, but because I've got a 5 and a 7-year-old, I can gauge a little bit what they can keep up with.
Yeah, gotcha.
Not even necessarily keep up with, but care to keep watching.
Yeah.
And this is an everybody show. If they don't get the heavier message, that's fine. If they get the how did he do that, that's wonderful. So bring your kids. You don't have to find a sitter or anything. Just grab tickets for everybody, and we'll make it happen.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much, Thad. It's been a real pleasure having you on this morning.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thad Burkamper, a mentalist, joining us here this morning, and it's TB Mentalism, right? TB Mentalism on Facebook. Go check him out because he's got a pretty cool act, I think. So
Cool.
I think that's going to be pretty neat. So be sure to check him out. Going over on November 16th at the high school auditorium, opening up at 6. So once again, this is Moving Forward, brought to you by Muscatine Power and Water. Mocklink is always Muscatine's fastest internet, and gigabit speed is coming. Mocklink TV beats satellite and includes video and music streaming. New subscribers save big, even more when you bundle. Learn more at mpw.org. Again, I'm Jordan Davis. Thanks for joining us here on Moving Forward here on the voiceofmuscatine.com.
We'd like to thank MPW Digital TV and Mocklink Internet, the local providers, for sponsoring Moving Forward on KWPC AM 860, FM 95.1, the voice of Muscatine. If you have a suggestion for a guest, we'd like to hear from you. Call our business line at 263-2442 or click mail at voiceofmuscatine.com. It's Moving Forward, weekdays at 8:15.